off, we take you to another developing story. A service to honor the late Rhema Bible Church founder, Pastor Ray McCauley, will be held at the church tonight. And our reporter, Chriselda Lewis, is standing by. Chriselda?
Well, a unifier, a man of peace, and someone who also contributed extensively to the political and social transformation of the country. Those are some of the words that we've heard from many of the mourners who have been passing their condolences since the news of the passing of Pastor Ray McCauley here at the Rhema Bible Church North in Johannesburg, in Randburg. This is where the honoring service or the memorial service will be taking place. We're expecting thousands of people to pack the auditorium here. You'd recall, I did mention in my previous crossing that he went on to found one of the most influential churches in Southern Africa, having founded this one in 1979. However, having the first service here in 16th of June 1985, that's when the first opening service was held relating to the Rhema Bible Church. And so much has been said about this man who preached from the pulpit, but also once he left the pulpit, he was also very interested, in the future of South Africa, how the church would be able to contribute to whatever was taking place in South Africa. We've previously heard how we'd urge members of the congregation to become involved if there'd been floods in South Africa, how the church would be able to become involved and assist those who have been left destitute. When there was any tragedy that had befallen the country, he always urged the church to get involved in that. Many had been inspired by Pastor Ray McCauley from the pulpit right here behind me, but also outside of this church. Let's chat a bit more about that now, on those that got to know this man that contributed so much. I want to speak first of all to Pastor Lingelishe Chatesweni from the International Federation of Christian Churches, as well as Reverend Matebula as well from the International Federation of Christian Churches. Pastor Chatesweni, what do we take from this great man and the mark that he has left? Certainly had a lot of influence, not only in South Africa, but internationally as well.
Chriselda, thank you very much. A lot we can take from this man, a stalwart of the faith, a legend of the gospel. But one thing that stands out for me, or stood out for me in his legacy, was his love for people generally. He had a message of social relevance, a church beyond the walls. He believed that the church must not just stick inside the church walls. He believed in the impact of the church, the message of the church being carried practically, in the social space. He believed in social relevance. One of his great messages was that this mystery of the gospel is not a secret to be kept. We've got to go public with this. So Pastor Ray McCauley is a great model of this. In fact, one of the slogans that remained and resounded about the church for the longest time was more than a church. He believed in a church that is strong and socially relevant. And his love for the people, his love for the country. He believed in the impact of the church on the destitute. He believed in the impact on the poor, those, who do not have, who are not as blessed as we are. So he preached a practical gospel. He preached a gospel that is not just about going to heaven. The message that we cannot just be so heavenly bound and earthly useless. So I believe it's a great legacy that we can take from Pastor Ray and carry forward.
Reverend Matebula, let me bring you in. I did say in my intro that he was very passionate about South Africa and its people. Whenever there'd been tragedy, whenever there'd been floods, things outside the church, he felt that the church needed to become involved. There were outreach programs to assist those who've been left destitute, as well as assist the poor. I mean, this is something that the church should hold in high regard.
Definitely. That is what Christ is expecting us to do. I mean, he says, I was in prison, you did not visit me. I was hungry, you did not feed me. I was naked, you did not clothe me. Pastor Ray McCauley did exactly that. He realized that it's not enough just to preach Christ, good messages. People they are in need. People are suffering. And he demonstrated that by doing those type of things, going out there and show the love of Jesus practically, not just in preaching. And for that is why we are here to celebrate him. But I also want to mention that this was a brave man. This was a man who was not scared to confront the issues in the country. When things were going wrong, he would stand in public and confront the issues that were troubling our nation. That is why you'll see him taking photos with your late Nelson Mandela, former president, almost all the presidents, after our independence, because he has been fighting to say all people are equal, both black and white. So that is why we are here to celebrate him.
Reverend Pastor, thank you very much indeed for your time. We really do appreciate it here on the SABC News channel. And that's certainly what we've heard, over the past couple of days, is that, he was not afraid. In fact, that's why you would have seen over the past few days a number of political parties, leaders of political parties who've come to share and send their condolences to the church, as well as on the passing of Pastor Ray McCauley. And those sentiments are certainly what's going to be shared from the podium right behind me, the pulpit where he preached from, but not only where he stood to inspire with the gospel, but also outside, how he inspired the church to go out and get involved in issues that had been plaguing South Africa.
All right, that was SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis live from Rhema Bible Church.